welcome to Out of the Box Radio with me, your host, Christine Blasdale. Out of the Box Radio is a weekly podcast of audible ear candy dedicated to bringing a fresh perspective on this thing that we call life. And each and every week, we're going to be diving into the topics that matter most with lively conversations on issues such as health, wellness, and transformational healing, all with the goal of creating a better world and becoming a happier human being. I will be your tour guide for this epic adventure, and each and every week we're going to be embarking on a journey with the ultimate goal being transformation to our highest potential. And now, let's get out of the box. That is probably one of the most beautiful songs I have ever heard. And I am joined in studio by the voice, the person who emitted that beautiful, beautiful song, Gurujas of White Sun. White Sun is a Los Angeles-based band known, world-renowned, for its pioneering musical interpretations of yogic mantras. And these are the songs of yogis, sung with a, well, obviously, if you heard that, you felt a penetrating, vibratory energy and consciousness and awareness where it absolutely delights all of the senses. White Sun's music emphasizes the healing vibrations of mantra, and it's something that I have just been introduced to, and I wanted to make sure that we brought this beautiful healing music to you, the listener. White Sun also recently won the 59th Annual Grammy Award for Best New Age Album for their second album, White Sun 2. And White Sun's music has gone to #1 on the Billboard charts, #1 on Amazon, and #1 on iTunes, and #1 in my heart. I want to welcome to the show. How corny am I, right? I want to welcome to the show Gurujas. Hello, welcome.
Thank you, Christine. Thank you so much.
Wow.
That was the best introduction.
Did you like that? Was it better than the Grammys?
I don't even think they introduced us at the Grammys. It was like, here's White Sun.
Here's White Sun. Oh, yeah, these people. So that song, that opening song, Long Time Sun, yeah. I don't know why it hit me like a ton of light. And it moved me. The first time I heard it, I was driving home on my long commute, traffic, people cutting people off. It's just bumper to bumper. And I was in nirvana. I was in heaven. I was absolutely blissed out, and I really needed to hear that. Talk about that particular track, that song, Longtime Son. Please tell us, our listeners, about that.
Well, thank you. First of all, thank you so much for telling that story. That's beautiful that you had that experience in the car. Those are my favorite stories ever. They make me so happy. So thanks for saying that. The Longtime Son, our sort of goal in White Sun is to just leave you a little bit better off than you were before hearing our music, right?
Well, it works.
And no matter how you feel, hopefully we can make you feel a little bit better after you hear our music. That is our goal, and it's a humble goal, but it really is our goal through and through. And we try to do that with every song. And The Longtime Son is it's very, very specific in that way. It sends a healing energy, and for me, it's like the Longtime Sun for me is a seal. It sends that healing light, but it seals in that healing light. That's my personal experience of it. And Yogi Bhajan was the master of Kundalini Yoga. He brought the Kundalini Yoga to the West, and he said that song would end every single Kundalini Yoga class. So that's also played at the end of Kundalini Yoga classes.
Wow, I just got major chills.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all around the world in every single class, those words and the class, there's different versions that are sung, but this is
your
our
rendition.
offering.
This is White Sun.
Yeah.
This is your take on it. Whoa.
Exactly.
Wow, you nailed it. I don't know about those other people, so let's talk about White Sun, about the group. It's because it's not just you. But your vocals really are just absolutely amazing. But the musicians, listen to this. We're playing in the background your music from the people involved in this group. Tell us about the folks that are involved.
Well, I feel so fortunate. There's 3 of us in the band, Hadi Jeevan and Adam Berry.
Wait, all this sound is coming from 3 people?
Yeah. Well, we have guest musicians.
Okay.
Yeah, we have guest musicians. But yeah, Hadi Jeevan founded the band, and he's the gong player in the band.
Oh, wow.
And most people don't understand when you say gong player, what does that mean? There's
they think
a gong player
show.
in the band.
They think the gong show.
Yeah.
They don't know what gong. They don't, and we're going to talk about that because there's something very special about the gong.
Yeah, absolutely. So the gong is the most healing sound that I know to exist. And if you go on NASA's website, this is really interesting to me. If you go on NASA's website, or if you go on YouTube and just search NASA's recordings of deep space, you can listen to NASA recording the moon, or NASA recording the rings of Saturn. You can listen to these things, and they actually sound very, very much like good gong playing. So the gong has this way of crossing space, way of crossing time, this remarkable healing penetration that it can affect the human consciousness, the human mind, and the human body. And when it's played correctly, and Hadi Jeevan is the best gong player I've ever known by far, the healing is just something that I can't even describe. Somebody was telling me that he was listening to the gong, just listening to the recording, not hearing it live, sitting at his desk working, and not thinking, just had it playing in the background.
Right.
Yeah. And all of a sudden, this huge, block is the way he described it, like a brick, just sort of fell off of the back of his head. And all of a sudden, he felt this lightness and this surge of energy. He felt the Kundalini energy come up his spine, and it was just like he'd put down something super heavy that he'd been carrying, and he went through some transformation sitting, typing at his computer on his desk, not meditating.
So he wasn't even aware of it. It was just playing in the background.
Exactly.
And we have all of these things that go on through our day and our heads. And like I said, you could be driving your car, you could be talking to your kids, you could be all of these things, and it still has that ability to penetrate those walls and those stress, the armor that we carry.
Yeah.
We carry a lot of armor.
We carry so much armor.
We protect ourselves, don't we?
Yeah, it's part of being human, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's very natural to block ourselves and to carry around our blocks, but I also think it's natural to break through the blocks and progress. So I think that, it's interesting. Yogi Bhajan to bring him up again, because again, he is the source of all these teachings. He said that when he first came to the West, he was really surprised because in India, people meditated and did yoga and they practiced mantras and they had some kind of practice. And when he came to the West, he said no one had a practice. He goes, you guys take showers and you take baths and you clean your bodies, but you don't clean your minds.
Wow.
Why don't you clean your minds? You know, he couldn't figure it out.
Right,
and so he went to teach yoga and meditation to help people go into their subconscious thought forms that are weakening you or making you fearful or insecure, and just eliminating those thought forms, reducing their power, making them inactive, or clearing them completely altogether. So listening to these mantras for us is the most powerful practice we can recommend, is just listening.
Just listening.
Just listening.
We don't have to sing like you?
You don't have to do anything.
Are you sure, Gurujas? I don't because I can't sing like you.
You're so sweet. I haven't heard you sing, so I don't know.
In the car, I started to kind of try to match it, kind of do a little harmony there. I was like, no, just let her do it.
You can do harms. I'm
no,
impressed.
Not really.
Now I need to hear you sing.
Well, so the intention of the music is that of healing and wellness.
Absolutely.
And light.
Absolutely.
And that is one reason why, too, I really wanted to have you on the show, because I believe wholeheartedly in intention. My intention is always to give the listeners something that will benefit them. Their physical body, their mental body, their spiritual body, something that's going to benefit them. We can actually play music that is good for people. Right?
Yeah, it's remarkable.
This music, folks, it's not only you can use it for meditation, for your meditation practice, but my intention on bringing this to the listeners and having Gurujas come in studio is the healing aspect of it. Because we all have something that we need to heal from. We all have had a broken heart. We've all had disappointment. Some have had suffering from a very young age. Some have anger that they haven't released. And my belief is that when we start to heal that within ourselves, then we'll look around and we'll see it in our world. Right now, when you look around in the world, a lot of people are hurting because a lot of people are hurting other people. There's a saying, hurt people hurt people. So our gift to you is to give you some incredible music that you can use in your meditation practice or in your healing practice. And we're going to be playing some of those tracks. Explain what they are. The song that we played in the very beginning, that single, Long Time Sun, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then the other two is your first album,
Mm-hmm.
and then the third one is your second album, White Sun 2,
Mm-hmm.
correct?
Yeah.
To the wish-fulfilling gong.
Yeah.
Now, tell our listeners about this particular piece.
Well, everyone has an electromagnetic field. Everyone has an auric field. It can be measured with devices now, with magnets, and I don't even know what it is. You'd have to ask a scientist. But we walk around with this aura, and this aura has a frequency, and it has a magnetism to it. And the way that we feel is that magnetism can be increased, and that frequency can be increased. And the higher the frequency, the more the magnetism. And so when you're listening to these types of mantras and they're clearing from your auric field, from your subconscious mind, from the mind-body system, these old weak thought forms, you become more magnetic to the universe. And when you're in that neutral magnetic space, you can draw in the things that you want and need. And so we encourage people to play the gong, to play all the mantras. We don't really care which one is your favorite or what you want to play or when you want to play it, but at some point figure out how to incorporate these into your life by pressing play and letting them just go in the background. You can sing in your car, or you can have them in the foreground, or you can play them at home where they're barely audible, but they will create an energy field that serves you, and they'll create an energy field that starts to draw to you what it is that you want. I'll give you a small example so you can see the versatility of the mantras. We had a lady who had a nasty neighbor. He just bothered her. I'm sure a lot of people have nasty neighbors, it happens.
Right.
It's just the guy was always kind of after her and didn't like her dogs and didn't like her mowing the lawn and didn't like whatever she did, he just didn't like her. And so he created problems for her. And she thought, I'm going to see if the mantra helps me with my neighbor. And what she did was she took the song off of our first album, Apsahayahoa, and she put it, she put the CD in a CD player, and put the CD player, the speakers facing the neighbor's home. And she just left it there and forgot about it. And it didn't take too long. She said it was maybe a month or 2 months. The guy who had been there for 18 years moved. He all of a sudden up and moved.
He couldn't vibrate with us.
Isn't that weird? She thought, well, it's just going to make him nicer, because mantras, all they do is add positive energy.
Right.
There's nothing negative in a mantra. It just adds positive energy, just adds strength. But there was something in his consciousness that just was resistant somehow.
Yeah.
This is her take on it. Of course, I don't know what exactly occurred. But her take on it is, I played the mantra, I pointed at that guy. That guy couldn't take the frequency, and he just left. And he just moved out. So it got rid of her problem that way, So these work on a very deep level. They'll heal relationships. They'll, inside of a family, make your job better.
What a beautiful thing to have this playing in the background of your home, to make sure that you and your loved one are at the highest level. Folks, if you're just joining us, I'm Christine Blasdale, and I'm joined in studio by Gurujas from White Sun. White Sun won the 59th Annual Grammy Award for Best New Age Album, and we are playing some music. I want to give our listeners, we're just going to listen just a little bit of the wish-fulfilling gong, okay? So, folks, you're in for a little treat. Your ears are in for a treat. Your body, your spirit, however you want to look at it, don't even think about it. It's the wish-fulfilling gong. We're going to listen to this now. Let's listen now to a little bit of the wish-fulfilling gong. I just got a nice little bolt of giddy chills going down the back of my spine with that. That was the wish-fulfilling gong, a little section of that.
And we also wanted to describe a little bit of the next song that you're going to play, Christine. It's called Lakshman, and it sounds a lot different than our other music. As far as we know, it's the first recording of this mantra, and only recording of this mantra still that exists. Yogi Bhajan, when he first came here in 1969, and this is one of the first things that he taught. And he was very straightforward when he taught this mantra. He said, it just gives you lots of money. He said, it's
wait a
money.
Second. Are you serious? This is the one that I chose to play? Of course I did. Fun drive. That's crazy.
So, mail, and you can play it and get more money. And this is a true story. I have to tell you a true story. I cannot tell you his name, but there's a billionaire, and a friend of mine knows him well, and thought that she would introduce him to this music and introduce him to Lakshman, because she thought, well, he likes, he deals well with money. He's very good with that energy field. I'm going to introduce him to this song because I think that's my way of getting him to listen to mantras. So she plays him the Lakshman mantra, and he does listen to it all the time in his home in Malibu. And he said that he told her one day, he goes, I was really meditating on it. I was really listening to it with every cell in my body. And he goes, the next day I got on a plane and I made a $10 million deal. He goes, I feel that it's because of that mantra. He told her it was his opinion that he made that deal because of the way that he was listening to that mantra.
Well, I love that. Well, then, okay, so folks, would you like to hear? I'm hearing a collective, yes, play the song. Okay, so we're going to play a song. This is Lakshman, right? Mm-hmm. Lakshman.
Exactly.
I love this too. It's beautiful. It's such a beautiful song. And I didn't know it helps bring wealth and money in. Let's listen now to Lakshman.
No.
gosh, that's Lakshman. Lakshman. And that's Gurujas, who's sitting here in studio. The beautiful vocals of that song. One interesting thing about that, immediately when I heard that, and maybe this is about you had said that song is something that helps bring about prosperity and money and things. And what I felt were like someone, like when you're riding a horse.
Uh-huh.
And that was if I was riding a horse and there was a soundtrack, hello, Hollywood, big movie producers, I just gave you a winner. Hello. When the hero is on the horse.
She's got a lead.
And they're riding the horse to whatever, you play that song. When they're going to go save the day and they're on a horse, you play that song.
Why wouldn't
Would you like that? You have that on a soundtrack,
yes,
right?
Please.
Yes,
you guys call me.
That was a beautiful, beautiful song. And again, because people just tuning in, they heard some of that song, but they didn't know what the intention of that song was. This is from White Sun. So please tell our listeners who just kind of came in during that song. Again, hate to have you repeat it, but a little bit. The intention of that song and what it represents.
It's worth repeating. Mm-hmm. Specifically, Yogi Bhajan's words when he taught that mantra in 1969, he said, "You'll get lots of money."
Did he really say that?
Yes.
So that mantra is, you're going to get lots of money.
Right. You practice that, you'll get lots of money.
Guess what? I'm singing on the way home. On the way to the bank.
And we know, I can't tell you how many people have told me that they've used that mantra, because that's very attractive. In this particular time and space, money is an important energy for all of us. We need it to survive. And so a lot of people are using that music. They're using that specific song, and people have told me they've gotten jobs, they've gotten opportunities, they've gotten just cash in the bank, checks they weren't expecting, all kinds of things.
You've got the wish-fulfilling gong. You've got the healing gong in this, too. We haven't talked about those tracks. There's a healing gong in there, and now you have the money. You're gonna get lots of money from that song. Beautiful collection. Again, Gurujas is part of White Sun, and they're a Grammy award-winning band, and they won for Best New Age Album at the 59th Annual Grammy Awards. I am so very blessed and happy that I have this music now in my life. I am going to play it, and especially on my commutes when you're driving, it just does something to you, and I can't even express it properly in the right amount of words. But it's through the intention of the artist. It's through the intention of the mantras that you get this beautiful energy. Let's talk about Gurujas. Let's talk about the Western world becoming familiar with this type of music. Again, this is musical interpretations of mantras, of yogic mantras. So let's talk about a little bit of that history.
That's a really, I'm really glad you brought that up. I think in order to put that in context, these yogic mantras are 5,000 years old, and they do not come from a belief system. In fact, we think a belief system, the word BS also comes from belief system, right? So this is not anything that you need to believe in. A lot of people might be listening and wondering, well, I just play it and I get money. How does that work? Well, this is how it works. It's a science. It's a technology.
Ooh, I love that.
And the yogis figured out this science and technology literally, again, over thousands of years. And it was painstakingly passed down, and then now starting to sort of get out into the world. Everybody knows that a vibration is a measurable thing. It has some kind of significance. And we have, in our auric field, we have a vibration. Your auric field's vibrating at a specific frequency.
Yes.
Mine's vibrating at a specific frequency, and we affect one another.
Yes.
So when you come into contact with somebody that has an extremely high frequency in their aura, you'll feel good being around that person. You come into somebody's aura that's an extremely low frequency, and again, an aura is just an electromagnetic charge. That's all it is. It's not a yogic term per se. It's just your electromagnetic charge.
It's your energy.
It's your energy. This water has an electromagnetic charge. The chair has an electromagnetic charge. Everything has this. Right. So we're affecting each other all the time, and if you come into contact with someone that has a low vibrational frequency in their auric field, maybe they're super depressed, or they've taken lots of drugs or something like this, that auric field will affect you and pull you downwards.
Correct.
So there's energy that pulls you up and energy that pulls you down. And the neuron pathways also are affected by energy. The neuron pathways in the brain, they vibrate at a specific frequency because thoughts vibrate at a specific frequency. And you might have heard the phrase, "You are not your thoughts." Have you heard that phrase? You are not your thoughts, because literally you're not. Your thoughts have a specific vibration. So if we have a low vibrational frequency thought, all we have to do is change the vibration and we'll have a high vibrational frequency thought. And like attracts like. So if I have a high vibrational frequency thought of gratitude, for instance, and I just fill my body with a thought of gratitude, well, that's a high vibration. And so that thought of gratitude is going to start attracting high vibrations. It's going to attract happiness. It's going to attract fulfillment. It's going to attract love. And if I fill my body with some depressed thought, it's also going to attract those low vibrational frequency thoughts. So
like attracts like.
Exactly. It's just like a magnet. So, and our aura is a magnet too. So the whole thing behind these yogic mantras, and I didn't write them. I would never write them because I didn't do the 5,000 years of research required to write them. They were passed on to us, and as long as I pronounce them correctly, they just work for us. This is the highest vibration that we know of to exist. I don't know any combination, permutation of sounds that vibrates at a higher frequency. And Yogi Bhajan even said, if we find something that works better, we'll start doing that. But in the meantime, we're going to do the most powerful, fastest working thing that we have, which is this Kundalini Yoga.
Cut right through it.
Exactly.
Get to the issue.
And I was reading this book, The Titans, something Titans. I'll have to get back to you on that. Maybe your listeners know what it is. But what was really interesting about this book, the guy interviews all of these extremely successful people in their field. So one of the people he interviews is Rick Rubin. Another person he interviews is Tony Robbins, people that are just kind of at the top of what they do. And he asked them what their daily habits were and what they found of value in their lives, what helped them get ahead. And he said that 80% of the people had a meditative practice a day. And he said every day. And then he said 100% of the people had some kind of daily practice. Even if it wasn't meditation, it was something. Maybe they listened to a song every day, or they had a specific routine that they did every day. So what he was getting at is that all of the people in his book, and there's got to be a couple hundred, they all have a daily practice. And so what the yogis said to us was, have some kind of daily practice where you're listening to these sounds. The practice of mantra is one of the highest practices and easiest practices that there is. And all you do literally is press play. And if it sounds easy, it is easy. Sometimes the simple things are the most powerful.
Exactly.
And if you can just press play, and if you can press play at night while you're sleeping, that's when the subconscious mind is the most wide open. In the dream space, things get so wonky and wobbly, and the fears come in, or the joy comes in, whatever it is. But at night, while you're sleeping, if you can play the mantras, that's a tremendously powerful practice. And then if you want to extend it from there, play it during the day, like you did, play it in your car, in traffic. There's a very common one that people say is they listen to the mantras in their car and they get rid of road rage. So I kind of like to see these mantras go from the caves of the ancient yogis to the cars of 2017. That's how it kind of migrates from east to west, is in our lives, just setting a vibration that serves us.
And folks, you can use it in any way you want. It's a tool for you.
It's a tool.
This is what I want to try and convey to the listeners. The highest vibration around. If you would like to get the highest vibration available and get it to you in your system, in your mind and your heart and everything around you and your family, White Sun meditation and healing music. Let's get back to some more healing music. Let's hear some more of the highest vibration around, shall we? This one, this is from your second album, Gobinde Mukunde?
Gobinde Mukunde. Yeah.
Gobinde
Mukunde.
Mukunde.
Yeah. What's nice about it is you don't have to say it. If you hear it, it's fine. That's good enough.
What now? Tell us a little bit about that. What is this going to do for us?
Well, Gobinde Mukunde.
We had a song about money, bringing money. We had healing. What is this?
Well, you've heard the phrase. Now I'm not going to remember the phrase. What is it? All rivers lead to the ocean. Did I say it right? All rivers lead to the ocean. So all mantras are going to affect you. As long as they're pronounced correctly and sung correctly, they're going to affect you in a beautiful, uplifting way. But certain mantras just do certain things faster. So any mantra is going to make you feel better. Any mantra is going to change your energy field. Any mantra is going to start to eliminate your weak thoughts and replace them with strong thoughts. Any mantra is going to do that.
Love it.
But this particular one has a special relationship with the radiant body. So if you've ever seen, a lot of times very famous actors and actresses have a strong radiant body. You'll see that there's just a brightness. You know, you've seen somebody walk into the room and they just sort of look like a light bulb is shining on them. You know, that's the radiant body. That's a strong radiant body. And it gives a youthful glow to the skin, but to the energy field, and it also attracts opportunity. The radiant body attracts opportunity. It works for you in that way. So it's also about power, personal power, and growth and strength. So,
it's perfect.
Yeah, so this one's a good one.
Isn't it interesting? You could do a whole analysis on the songs that I picked. Isn't that interesting?
Maybe we should do that. Stick around.
Well, let's listen to that. This is from White Sun Meditation and Healing Music, the highest vibration available to you. And we're going to listen now to, please help me pronounce it again.
Gobinde Mukande.
Yeah, that. Let's listen now. Gurujas. What a voice.
You're so
My
sweet.
goodness, have you always sang like that?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh. I'm just, yeah.
My heart.
So this is a White Sun meditation and healing music. Remember what we were saying earlier? There's a healing gong song on there, the highest vibrational music around. It's been around for thousands of years. You gotta know what they're doing. I just did Chris Rock. I don't know why. I just channeled Chris Rock. These are tools for you to use. This next song that I really want to play, and we're running close on time, Dan Dan Ramdas Gur.
Yeah,
Did I say that right?
You did. You said it perfectly.
Dan Dan Ramdas Gur. What does that mantra mean?
Well, I love that you chose this one.
Does it mean that my dog needs to go out? What does it mean?
You just couldn't get more perfect with these choices.
What is
This
it?
one's for miracles. Miracles.
Miracles.
Yeah.
Oh,
miracles.
my goodness. We need a miracle today. Okay. This is for miracles.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Big and small?
Big and small.
Miracles. A miracle's a miracle.
Yeah, there's one lady who told me her miracle was this. She said, my teenage son would drive to school in the morning with me and listen to the worst music, and I put up with it because I didn't want to fight with him anymore, and I let him listen to this horrible music that I hated, and misogynist, and all this, like terrible lyrics and swearing the whole time. And she goes, I started playing that Dun Dun.
Yeah?
And she goes, one day he just stopped. He never wanted to listen to it again. She goes, that was my
That's
miracle.
a miracle.
That was her miracle.
Oh, wow.
She wasn't playing it for that.
Okay, folks, if you want a miracle, first of all, turn up this song. Let's listen now, can we? Let's put some miracles out into the world. Dan Dan Ramdas Gur. This is from White Sun. And that was another beautiful high vibration song from White Sun, and that is Dan Dan Ramdas Gur, and that's for miracles. Remember, folks, that all of this music is it's all put to the yogic mantras. It's all beautifully interpreted by my guest Gurujas and the wonderful members of the band of White Sun, the Grammy Award-winning White Sun. That's how you have to say it. You have to, the Grammy Award-winning White Sun. Gurujas, thank you so much.
Thank you for
very
having
much.
me here.
And for your generosity, the highest vibration sounds available on the planet.
And if you'd like to find out more about Gurujas and the band White Sun, you can go to whitesun.com. Check out their website. They have links to all of their music. And please do tell a friend about this absolutely powerful, powerful vibrational force that is something that has changed my life, and I hope it changes yours. And now, as a very, very special gift to you, the listener, we are going to be playing the entire track of the Healing Gong. Listen to this. You can listen on with your headphones. You can listen in your car. You can listen as you're laying down. But this is a absolutely beautiful sound that's going to resonate with you on many different levels. And now, without further ado, the Healing Gong from White Sun. Once again, that was White Sun, and that was the Healing Gong. You can check out their music and find out more by going to whitesun.com, whitesun.com. The next song we're going to feature in this program is an absolutely beautiful one, sung by Gurujas, available on their very first album, White Sun, and it's called the Mool Mantra. Let's listen now.
Purik mera paunirla akala muri tajini sabon gur prasad jab ad sach jugad sach happy sach nanak lo si bi sach ekon kar sat nam kat purik mera paunirla jab ad sach jugad sach happy sach nanak ho si bi sach ekon kar sat nam kat purik mera paunirla akal muri tajini sabon gur prasad jab ad sach
Once again, that was Mool Mantra, sung by Gurujas of the band White Sun. If you'd like to get more information, I encourage you to go to their website, whitesun.com. It's whitesun.com. And do yourself a favor, please pick up their music. It is absolutely life-changing, beautiful, beautiful renditions of yogic mantras that have been passed down for thousands of years. As Gurujas has said, it's the highest vibration available on the planet. And I want to thank you so much for joining me this week. Out of the Box Radio is available by podcast on iTunes and iHeartRadio, so you'll never miss a show. Or, even better, go to YouTube and subscribe to the Out of the Box Radio channel. Until next time, as always, I want to remind you to think outside of the box. Bye for now.